All right, welcome back everyone to the Digital Advantage Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things business and personal digital resources. Today, we're diving deep, and I mean really deep, into this, honestly, pretty inspiring blog post I found.
Oh, intriguing. Lay it on me. What's got you so fired up?
Okay, so it's from referenceranger.com, a site I think a lot of our listeners are familiar with, and it's titled, get this, Start a Shopify Business with No Money in 2025 Easy Guide.
Okay, I see why you're hooked. I mean, starting any business, let alone an online store with zero cash, that's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm always open to exploring new possibilities. What's the post's angle?
Yeah, right. My first thought was clickbait, but honestly, this post actually delivers. It digs into practical strategies, real world stuff, not some get rich quick scheme. It's all about a lean approach, using what's already out there, resources and models to get your e-commerce idea off the ground. No magic, just smart moves.
I like where this is going. It's not just about pinching pennies. It's about flipping the script on how we think about launching a business.
Right. Exactly. The post argues that those big hurdles we traditionally associate with starting an e-commerce business, like stocking up on inventory, building a website from scratch, all that can actually be sidestepped. The key, Shopify's free trial.
Ah, leveraging that initial window.
Yeah.
Smart. Gives you time to get your store up and running, maybe even make a few sales before you have to commit financially.
Precisely. And the post really drives home this point. It's not just about saving money, it's about resourcefulness, it's about strategy, about consistently putting in the work. That's what fuels early success, maybe even more than having a huge chunk of change to start with.
So by the end of our deep dive today, listeners should walk away with a pretty solid grasp on how to launch their own Shopify store and start generating sales, all without needing a massive nest egg.
That's the goal. And the post answers that big question right off the bat. Can you really start a Shopify business with no money in 2025? And their answer is a resounding yes.
No hesitation there. And like you mentioned, the free trial is a major part of that. You get to play around with the platform, get comfortable, build your store, and maybe even snag those first few sales before the bill comes due.
Right. And then the post dives into the basic plan, which is $39 a month plus transaction fees. But the strategy here is to be making money before that first payment hits.
It's a clever approach, but how do you make money without spending any? That's where things get interesting, right? What's the secret sauce?
Well, the post introduces this concept of bootstrapping, embracing that lean startup philosophy, keep your initial costs as low as humanly possible, and then when you start making some cash, you plow it right back into the business. It's a sell first, pay later model, kind of a cool twist on traditional retail.
I like it. Less risk, more flexibility. Now, to really make this sell first, pay later thing work, the post highlights these three no inventory business models. Sounds almost impossible, right? But let's start with the first one, dropshipping. Help our listeners wrap their heads around this. What is it and how does it work?
Okay, so imagine this. You've got an online store packed with tons of awesome products. But here's the catch. You don't actually buy or store any of this stuff yourself.
That's dropshipping in a nutshell. Sounds incredibly efficient. But how does the actual selling process work?
It's surprisingly straightforward. Someone buys something from your store, you pass that order along to your supplier, and then they handle the packaging and shipping directly to the customer. No warehouses, no shipping headaches for you.
So you're essentially acting as the middleman, connecting customers with suppliers. Pretty clever.
Exactly. And to make things even smoother, the post mentions these apps, DSers, Zendrop, CJ Dropshipping, all integrated with Shopify, makes finding and listing products a breeze.
So not only are you cutting inventory costs, but you're also simplifying the whole sourcing process. I'm starting to see the appeal here.
It's definitely game-changing, but there's one thing to remember. While you're not paying for inventory up front, you still need to factor in the supplier's cost and shipping fees when you set your prices.
Smart point. It's not about zero cost, but rather about shifting the cost to after you've made the sale, minimizing that initial risk. Now let's move on to the second no inventory model the post explores. Print on demand, or POD. What's the story with that?
This one's all about unleashing your creativity. It's similar to drop shipping in that you don't handle any inventory, but with POD, you're selling your own unique designs.
Oh, interesting. So you're not just reselling existing products, you're creating something original.
Exactly. Think t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, tote bags. You design it, and then when someone orders it, the POD supplier takes care of printing and shipping. The post specifically mentions Printify and Printful as top players in this space.
Wow, so you're essentially monetizing your artistic skills without needing a factory or a warehouse. Pretty amazing. But how do you ensure your designs actually sell?
Well, the post emphasizes finding your niche, tapping into trends, catering to specific hobbies or interests. It also mentions leveraging free design tools like Canva, or even exploring those AI-powered art generators.
So even the design process can be budget friendly. What about marketing? Where do POD sellers typically find success?
Visual platforms are key. Think Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram Reels. The posts suggest partnering with influencers too, folks who have a following that aligns with your designs.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Now let's jump into the third no inventory model that piqued my interest: digital products. This one seems to take the whole minimal investment idea to a whole new level.
It does. The post describes it as the ultimate create once, sell repeatedly model. We're talking ebooks, templates, online courses, software, anything that can be delivered electronically.
So no physical goods to deal with at all, just pure digital delivery. What are some of the tools mentioned for creating these products?
Well, familiar ones, actually. Canva, Google Docs, even Notion come up. It really depends on what type of digital product you're creating.
And once you create it, you can sell it over and over again without any additional production or shipping costs. That's a huge advantage. What about platforms for selling?
Shopify handles that seamlessly. It's built right into the platform. You can easily list and deliver digital products instantly.
Very cool. The post also highlighted something about high profit margins with digital products.
Right, because you create it once, and then every sale after that is almost pure profit. That's why the post suggests focusing on digital products that solve problems or offer real value to your target audience. And for marketing, they recommend SEO, Pinterest, and those organic social media strategies we talked about earlier.
So we've got these three awesome no inventory models: dropshipping for testing the waters, print on demand for the creative folks, and digital products for maximizing profit potential. All possible on Shopify with minimal initial investment. Pretty incredible.
It is, and the post drives home this point. There's no one-size-fits-all model. It all boils down to your strengths, your interests, and who you're trying to reach.
Choosing the right model is crucial for setting yourself up for success. But what happens once you've made that decision? What's the next step on this journey?
Okay, so you've picked your model, you're excited, ready to go. Now it's time to build your Shopify store. And remember, we're still sticking to that budget-conscious mindset.
Got it. So no splashing out on fancy features just yet. What's the first practical step, according to the post?
The post is very clear. Sign up for that Shopify free trial. That's your playground, your risk-free zone to explore the platform, start building, and get familiar with how it all works.
That trial period is like a test drive. You get to kick the tires and see if Shopify is the right fit for you.
And sometimes they even offer these extended trial periods, like special promotions. Definitely worth keeping an eye out for those. Once you're in, the post is to choose a free Shopify theme.
So you don't have to shell out extra cash for a premium theme right away.
Nope. And there are some great free themes out there. The post specifically mentions Dawn and Refresh, praising their clean looks, mobile friendliness, all that good stuff. You can have a professional-looking store without spending a dime.
That's reassuring, especially for beginners who might be hesitant to invest heavily at the start.
Absolutely. And even with a free theme, Shopify gives you a lot of control over your store's appearance. You can tweak the colors, fonts, add images, really make it your own.
So there's still plenty of room for personalization. What about branding elements? Did the post mention logos?
Yes. They emphasize having a logo, even if it's something you create with a free tool like Canva. And for product pages, they stress high-quality images and detailed descriptions. Even little things like using a tool like remove.bg to clean up product photos can make a big difference.
Those small touches can really elevate the overall professionalism. What else does the post recommend for boosting trust and credibility?
They're big on trust signals. Things like clear return policies, secure payment badges, all that helps build confidence with potential customers. And Shopify offers free features for incorporating these elements.
Makes sense. Beyond the visuals, what about functionality? Does the post recommend any free apps for essential tasks?
Yep. It's a big advocate for leveraging free apps. It even breaks it down by category, like for email marketing. It recommends MailerLite and Omnisend. Both have free plans that are great for sending newsletters and those abandoned cart reminders.
Smart picks. Email marketing is crucial for any online business. What about other categories?
For building social proof and getting customer feedback, they suggest Judge.me, their free plan lets you collect and display reviews. And for SEO, that's search engine optimization, to help people find your store online, they recommend Plugin SEO. They have a free plan that scans your site and gives you tips on how to improve your ranking.
Wow, so much can be achieved without spending any money up front. That's pretty amazing.
It is. The post really hammers home that point strategic use of Shopify's free features and apps goes a long way.
So you've built your store, chosen your no-cost model, you're feeling good. Now the big question, how do you actually get people to your store and make those first sales without paying for ads?
That's where marketing comes in. The post has some awesome free strategies. And first up, social media.
Social media is a given these days, but what's the post's specific advice?
It's not just about posting product photos. They're all about short, engaging videos tailored for platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and Pinterest. The key is to grab attention and drive traffic to your store.
Makes sense. People have short attention spans, so you need to hook them quickly. What about content ideas? Does the post have any suggestions?
They recommend experimenting, do product demos, give people a behind-the-scenes peek at your business, share customer testimonials, anything to make it real and engaging, and post consistently.
Consistency is key for building an audience. What else does the post recommend?
Being active in Facebook groups. But it's not about spamming links. It's about providing value, answering questions, being a genuine part of the community.
Building trust and establishing yourself as an expert. Good advice. What about SEO?
SEO is huge. It's all about getting your store to show up in search results when people search for products like yours. And the post emphasizes writing detailed product descriptions, using relevant keywords, and starting a blog on your Shopify store.
I love that they highlight the importance of a blog. It's a great way to provide valuable content, establish yourself as an authority, and ultimately attract more customers.
Exactly. And it's not just about stuffing keywords everywhere. It's about creating content that genuinely helps your target audience, which Google loves.
Okay, so social media and SEO are covered. What's the third free marketing strategy the post mentions?
Influencer and affiliate marketing, but with a budget-friendly twist. They recommend partnering with micro-influencers, people who have smaller but very engaged audiences, and structuring deals based on commissions, so you only pay when they drive sales.
Very smart. Minimizes risk and ensures you're getting a return on your investment.
Exactly. And they also suggest setting up referral programs to incentivize existing customers to bring in new ones. It's like creating a word-of-mouth marketing machine.
Building a loyal customer base that actively promotes your brand. Powerful stuff.
It is. And the post emphasizes that consistency, genuine engagement, and nurturing relationships are key for all these free marketing methods to work.
Solid advice. It's not just about quick tricks, it's about building something sustainable. So let's say all these efforts are paying off, you're making sales, things are moving in the right direction. What's next?
Well, then it's time to scale up, but still with that minimal investment mindset.
Scaling without breaking the bank. I like the sound of that. How does the post suggest going about this?
The first thing they recommend is reinvesting some of your profits into paid marketing. It's time to explore platforms like Facebook and Google Ads, which let you target your ideal customers more precisely.
Makes sense. Paid advertising can really amplify your reach, but it's important to do it strategically.
Absolutely. The post stresses starting small, testing different campaigns, and analyzing the data to see what works best. They also suggest continuing those collaborations with smaller influencers, still working on those commission-based deals.
So it's a balanced approach, a mix of paid and organic strategies. What about the product side of things?
The post advises expanding your product line, but doing it strategically. Look at your sales data, see what's selling well, and consider offering variations of those products, different sizes, colors, features, things like that. You can also create product bundles to increase your average order value.
Smart move.
Yeah,
Capitalize on what's already working and offer more options to your existing customer base.
exactly. And the post is big on upselling and cross-selling, basically encouraging customers to buy more, but they also caution against expanding too quickly. Test new products in small batches, use print on demand for new designs, and remember that digital products are a great way to diversify with minimal risk.
Measured growth is key. And to make all this easier, what about automation? Does the post address that?
Oh yeah, they're big on automation. They recommend using free or low-cost apps to streamline things like order fulfillment, customer support. They mention Zendesk, which has free options, and email automation. MailerLite comes up again.
Automating those essential tasks can free up so much time and mental bandwidth. It allows you to focus on the bigger picture.
Exactly. This whole blog post Start a Shopify business with no money in 2025 easy guide from referenceranger.com really is an eye-opener. It shows that you don't need a fortune to start an e-commerce business. It's about being resourceful, strategic, and consistent.
It challenges that traditional notion that you need a ton of capital to succeed. It's all about leveraging the right tools, strategies, and mindset.
If you want to learn more, head over to referenceranger.com. They've got a ton of great resources for anyone looking to gain a digital advantage.
Great website. Highly recommend checking it out.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us on the Digital Advantage podcast.